people that in. I'm a Gideon. We're gonna start the conversation off, right away. I think everyone who is in the room right now needs to be here, so everyone else will be joining us. If everyone can hear me okay, let me know. We also have the chat open as well. I'm gonna run through a few things, and then we can keep it going. Glad everybody's situated. Thank you everybody for joining us and taking your time out this evening to join us. We really truly appreciate it. And I want y'all to know that, during this time, we know that time is precious. During this, this whole thing is back and reflecting on how precious our own personal time is. So to share our own collective time is super precious as well. And get more connected in these ways that we can during this time is super important. So my name is Fidel. Most of you all on this platform know me already. TRUE SKOOL. Most of you all are familiar with TRUE SKOOL already. My co-executive director is on the call with us, on the video with us, Shalina Ali. Gideon is on the call with us, also from the TRUE SKOOL team. We have some TRUE SKOOL alumni on the team as well with us, and I'm sure we have some more joining us as we keep it moving. So this is awesome, because look at this, 5 minutes in and everybody is tapped in. That let me know off top everybody is serious about this conversation. Everybody is willing to really just stop what they're doing and take a little minute to share about this conversation. So I really, again, I'll probably thank you all several times tonight, because this is a big moment for a lot of reasons. So make sure that you stay tuned and listen and look on the chat. We'll be sharing a lot of links as we go on in social media and all that good stuff. And you all can feel free to add your conversations, feel free to add and share onto the links as well. Whether it's, your own personal contacts, you're networking on the chat, that's fine as we go on, and we can add on to the conversation as well. So just thank you, everybody. Thank you to students who we have on board. Thank you to the family of the students and the youth in the community. We kept some virtual programming of TRUE SKOOL going while all this is happening, while everybody's transitioning, everybody's business is shifting, family is shifting. Shifted some of our sessions that we do after school to virtual conversations. Thank you to everybody who's been sharing that, helping us move that and transition that into a way where students can interact and still get the knowledge and still get the understanding, still be creative, still be inspired, still be connected, still build community. That's what it's about. And now you're doing that directly by default, not necessarily by choice. We already build globally. We already build our community, on a global level as hip hop. That's just the nature of it. But now this is another level. So we are tapping into this new normal, and it's just one of the ways that we want to share our broadcasting. Last week we kicked it off, True Knowledge Wednesdays. Every week we'll do this at 6 p.m. and then we do Fridays at 1 p.m. with the Art of Coping. And so that's facilitated as sort of like the glue in our program. If you know anything about TRUE SKOOL, that's the glue to what we do in hip-hop education, is the knowledge and the mental wellness, and be able to bring that together before you become a great DJ, a great breakdancer, a great beat producer, great artist, lyricist, and all the other great media aspects that we offer at our organization, trueskool.org. So like I said, most of you are familiar with that, so I'm not going to do a big spill about that, but why are we here right now, and why are you all here right now, I think is even, just again, super important and super priceless, because hip hop needs to be able to have some conversations and have some glue in the conversation right now. We see a lot of people stepping up in hip hop, even before this crisis, even before things are happening. We see people stepping up in hip hop, because again, that's the nature of it, and in the community directly. It may not get a lot of press. It may not be the commercial news. It may not be what's on your radio or your social media feeds directly. But if you're paying attention, or if you're one of those people, you already understand that a lot of our culture that is moving things forward and transitioning, not only in the tech, not only in business, not only in art, and a lot of things that happen to do with entrepreneurship, but also in regards to bringing up the next generation. So that's why we're here. We're here to talk to the next generation and talk to some of the family who need the inspiration from hip hop right now, need some direction, need a lot of things going on. It's a lot of attention, and hip hop building a lot of attention right now during this time with online platforms and saying, hey, you can do this and you can do that, innovative, creative. And that's the nature of it. That's what hip hop is going to do. So we wanted to gather some of the masterminds that are close enough to the TRUE SKOOL family and also close enough to the global family, so this conversation can really resonate. We can say, okay, what's hip hop doing right now? What was hip hop doing right now? What is hip hop supposed to be doing right now? Those are the answers that you know, those are the solutions to the conversation that we just want to chop it up for a little bit tonight. And like I said again, the chat is wide open. We appreciate the drive of people who helped us share this event online, help us communicate with the people and get it online. And right quick, I just want to, you know, just go around and just give everybody just a quick chance to just do what may be called a wellness check. Just check in right quick where you at. What hip hop has always been doing is always been checking in from different regions, from different coasts, from different areas, from different neighborhoods, from different blocks. Saying, hey, this is what we doing. So I just want to give people a chance to just check in and, you know, how are you, how your family, and what's going on, and how can we start this conversation? I'm gonna start off with my brother Gat. I don't know. I guess I can mute everybody. You can mute yourself if you so choose. I know I can probably unmute you and shit. Just by, you know, MCing me. I'm like,
yeah. Hey, yo, I would say everybody who's not talking at the moment, definitely mute your mic.
Thank you. And we got a lot of here,
when you're about to say something, unmute.
Yeah. So, you know, just keep it brief, brother. Just do a check-in and just say peace to the people and set this mode right quick.
All right. Salam alaikum, family. Peace. You know what I'm saying? Honored and glad to be a part of this conversation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of serious things going on in this time right now. You know, and hip-hop, you know, I always, you know, being a member of the Nation of Islam, man, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan always taught us that, you know, that the artist was the vanguard of the society, you know, so hip hop, you know what I'm saying? We the new crop of artists. We the true leaders in this day that we living in right now, man. So it's an honor to be amongst the vanguard, you know what I'm saying? And I'm anxious to hear what everybody got to say, everybody's take on what's going on in the world right now, you know, so, but it's definitely serious times. You know, so I just felt like with this COVID piece going on right now, it was just some type of pivot, you know. Similar, you know, to 9/11, you know, after 9/11, you know, the world as we knew it had changed. So could be the same thing with this right here. But, you know, I'm just honored to be a part of the conversation, man. I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody got to say.
Family good over there? Little one's great?
Oh, man, you know, they running shit. They running shit. Ain't nothing changed for them.
So we touching base at home. We're gonna tap in with Wordsworth. I'm just going how I'm seeing him.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man? Thanks for having me. Yeah, man. So I'm in Florida right now. My family is in New York, and my immediate family, my mom and them and stuff like that. But my wife and kids, we here in Florida. So you know, just winging it out. I'm still doing my teaching thing. So doing the virtual teaching and everything like that. Still writing and just trying to actually taking this time to be finish everything that got started. You know, a lot of those things that got started, it's time to finish them. So that's pretty much my approach to what's going on. So yeah, peace to everybody.
Word. What part of Florida you in?
I'm in Lehigh Acres.
Oh, word. Okay. Peace, brother. Appreciate you tapping in with us for sure. DJ LoLo. Lauren. Looking like you're in a college dorm.
Oh, what's up? I feel like it. I've been operating everything out of my bedroom because that's the only place that's quiet and I can shut my door. My name is Lauren. Here in Milwaukee. Happy to be a part of the conversation with you all. I think a lot about hip hop and the platform that it has, even in the times, even in lockup and the beautiful things that emerge from quarantine. As difficult as it is, it's kind of like the best of times and the worst of times. So I think perspective has a big play in how we navigate it. I think music helps to get people the perspective that they need and get people's minds clear. I think there's a lot of privilege that comes with being able to still navigate and still work and still make moves, even while crisis happens. And sometimes we could take advantage of that, even if we don't have the assets and the privilege. We can take advantage of the mindset and kind of put ourselves in a place to think clearly, because there's going to be a post this. And I think we can be ready. So I'm really happy to learn from y'all and happy that y'all are here today. Everybody's good over here.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, and just, you know, as we keep it going, you know, the backgrounds and everything you're doing outside of it, you know, Lolo's a outstanding DJ here in Milwaukee. But outside of the aspects of what we do in the business, you know, everything else you do, that's outstanding and dynamic is also why you invited to this conversation, because you
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
for real, because you tied in with the youth directly, and you have a huge impact in that space that a lot of people may not even know about. They may not even know you on that level. So, Gideon, you want to go ahead?
Yo, what up, everybody? God bless, peace and love. I'm Gideon. Can you hear me okay?
Sir.
Word. I am a photojournalist / MC / artist. I am the media instructor at TRUE School. I'd like to give y'all some good news and announce that we kicked off a big fundraiser for TRUE School. We set a $1,000 goal for ourselves this morning, and we crushed that goal. So with the love and support of the community, the hip hop community in Milwaukee, we've been able to now raise about $1,700 to continue the efforts of TRUE School. So everybody, one time, make some noise for that, because with all the bad news, this is some good positive news. And I just wanted to share with y'all, because it's been the effort of our members and our alumni that have been sharing the fundraiser that has really drawn those dollars from the community into TRUE School so they can keep operating. TRUE School's been in existence 15 years, and we want to give them at least another 15 to keep, these young people interactive and engaged with hip hop. So thank y'all. Peace and love.
All right, Shu. Speaking of TRUE School.
Well, everything's good. It's been interesting balancing, personal and parenting, as well as really having to be on that end of sustaining a business and thinking about what it's like to completely shut down and disrupt 40 young people who are well into a groove of programming and creating and building community. That was rough. They definitely tried to knock the door back open, and we had to really encourage them to stay home and take this pandemic seriously. Also, there have been, other businesses trying to reach out to us while we're trying to do emergency response to the situation as it relates to everybody's safety, everybody's well-being, but also funds as it relates to the business and all these other things, and understanding that there's so many artists that depend on us for real, for paychecks on a regular basis to eat. And because we contract our artists, because we're not trying to, we're going to engage artists, not own them, that also means they're not on a payroll. So even while we're an established business applying for, relief loans and things like that, paying these artists don't fit into that criteria. So we've been trying to be creative, keep them engaged. That's one of the main reasons why we're fundraising outside of all these other things that we're doing, because we need those unrestricted funds to really make sure that we're maintaining and supporting these artists. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm busier than before, but I love the position that I'm in, and I love the role that I get to play in supporting our community. And I'm just, I'm excited that this conversation is happening, because legit, the local media has reached out to us for advice and for support, and they've reached out to us for accountability. And at the end of the day, you got to keep it real and be like, y'all scaring the fuck out of people for no reason. And what we're not doing is really dropping game that's going to help them take care of themselves and stay right as we get through this. I'll leave that there.
All right. Strick. Can I unmute you or you unmute you? There you go, brother.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm in Milwaukee. My name's Strick, hip hop artist in the group with my man Wordsworth, who's also in the Zoom meeting with us tonight. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite, Shu. I retired 11 months ago from the fire department. So I was 20 plus years as a first responder. So I want to give a big shout out to all the first responders and everybody that's essential to have to be out here in these streets during this pandemic. I got out just in time, I guess. And as far as hip hop, other than touring the world with Words and Master Ace and a couple of other guys from our camp, as far as hip hop during the COVID, I've been really enjoying the IG lives that all the DJs are putting out. It's a bit much at times, but honestly, the music
as I think Lolo mentioned it before, it's like the music is kind of therapeutic for me at this point. And just to tap in, I tapped into Lolo's joint a couple times just to tap into the different DJs and see, you know, how they have been attacking this pandemic has been just beautiful for me. And the battles the last couple weeks. And I think that everyone should just prepare themselves properly for when the pandemic is over. When we get to the other side, are you going to be a better you? Are you going to be that same you that you were prior to the pandemic? Or are you going to take this pandemic and take some time to, you know, build up your skills, your passion, whatever you have, so that on the other side, you're ready to go? Because it's going to be over eventually. I don't know how soon. I know our president wants this to be over like yesterday. But when this thing is over with, are you going to be a better you is the question. So I'm happy to be here, y'all.
Man, thank you for your years and years of service. You know, you've been a major inspiration, because I've been able to point at mad shorties and say, look, he holding something down here, and then he, and guess what? And then I'm able to hit play on that thing and be like, no, he don't play no games with that. So I just want you to know you've been a great walking testimony. You understand? So keep up everything you're doing, brother. We appreciate you tapping in with us tonight for sure. And then, you know, we're going to get some other critical information too, because you save lives out here. So I know that's part of the expertise that you also bring as hip hop, and we need that. I appreciate that again. Big brother Arabian Prince checking in.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate being honest with you guys. Arabian Prince NWA. I met some of the True School people down in Milwaukee. What was it called? Something X?
Fall X.
Yeah, Fall Experiment. And I love that, man. But out here in Cali, man, got my Cali Kool-Aid, you know. Gotta do it like we do. But yeah, man, what we've been trying to do out here in a lot of the hip hop community and some of my friends, man, we're trying to get the message out to the inner cities, because I think that's one of the problems that we've been seeing, is the fact that either they don't listen to any news, or they just stuck on social media and getting a lot of the wrong information, and then they're passing that wrong information around to people. So we're trying to take it upon ourselves to kind of just get groups of people and some of the young kids, you know, in the schools that are just at home, just taking in crazy information and just saying, hey, this is what's really going on. You got to make your own opinion, because honestly, the government halfway don't even know what the hell is going on right now. So, but we're trying to just give people a sense of just solidarity within the communities and saying, like, stop passing bad information. If you don't know for sure, don't say nothing, but just uplift, help, and help people get through this. Resources. Right now, we passing around resources, because some people don't know how to get their money or where to get the money. The people, like half the people in here, most people in here are probably all entertainers or DJs or whatever. And I'm not sure in Milwaukee, but I know in California, and I think it's across the country, on the 28th, you can apply for the unemployment insurance for gig workers, like the gig economy people, which is separate from just regular unemployment. So they're actually going to give money to people who are DJs or actors or, you know, work in barbershops and stuff like that. So that's a lot of the information we're trying to get out there. So just happy to be on here with you guys.
Man, that's dope, bro. We're going to really dig into that. And again, we so appreciative of your presence, bro, and just being able to connect back just like we said we would, you know, on something serious. So
yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time. And as we going forward in the conversation, this, you know, a lot of people going to be chiming in and checking in. If you want to say something, raise your hand in the chat, as they say, or do something in the chat so we know. Or if you don't want to chime in, you know, via call, you can also just add on in the chat, and then we'll get to it. But I appreciate everybody just, you know, in that first round of just, hey, letting us know everybody's good. Milwaukee has been on the map for a long time for a lot of different reasons. And, you know, we back in the news again. Twan Mack, we back in the news again.
Actual fact, we stay in the news.
I need you to check in with us. I need you to check in with us, bro.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, peace to everybody. My name is Twan Mack. I am an adult contemporary hip hop artist, and for me, well, first of all, let me start with my wellness. I'm well. Actually, since I'm much kind of alone anyway. Corona didn't really change much for me anyway. I'm like I stay away while taking care of business and whatnot. So I'm not really around people that much. So it really didn't bother me. From the standpoint of care for my mother, because I care for my 65-year-old mother, and she has a compromised immune system. And just prior to COVID, my mother was in the hospital for like 7 days. She actually nearly died in my arms. So a couple crazy things happened in COVID. I celebrated my birthday during COVID, like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. So it's crazy, but in comparison to how I'm seeing a lot of other people moving, like COVID really didn't change much for Mac because I'm grinding hard as far as the adult contemporary music is concerned. Actually, COVID has done a remarkable job in terms of, from a marketing standpoint, if you're talking about being able to reach out to people, because I just dropped a new record called Marvelous. It's a dope video, streaming everywhere, doing this thing. And initially, when I was getting ready to drop it, a couple people that I respect, that I reached out to, everybody basically told me yeah, I would go ahead and drop that, because it's not talking about nothing frivolous or nothing like that. It's basically a record that designed to make people smile and make people laugh, along with the visual for it too. So in a nutshell, I went ahead and dropped the record, and COVID has actually been an agent on my behalf in terms of me being able to get the people that normally would be moving too fast. Or I actually have had a conversation with Russell Simmons, locked in with my big brother Chuck Chillout about the Bronx. So that's straight foundation. I started writing for Weekly Rap God, so I'm now contributing writing for Weekly Rap God. All that happened during COVID. And so just yesterday, I just interviewed the hip hop gangster Just Ice. So all that to say this, I'm turning a negative into a positive. Yeah, I can't move and shake like I would like to. I actually missed 3 shows in Amsterdam. I would have been in Zurich, doing some shows there. COVID killed that. But what it's done is it made me recalibrate and prepare for when COVID is over. Like my brother for a long time, Steve Stricklin, alluded to, what are we gonna do once this concludes? Because it's gonna conclude. There's gonna be a head to this, and once we get to the head, I feel like I'm gonna be prepared, because I'm keeping my mom out the way. That's the thing that I was most worried about, is my mom, because like I said, with her compromised immune system, she's been 64. So I basically just make sure that I don't expose her to anything. I don't expose her to anybody. I don't bring nobody to my house. None of that. And I make sure that I provide whatever she needs. Like if she needs me to get anything, her medicines, her groceries, whatever, I just, I'm on point. I'm her only friend. So that's what Twan Mack is doing. I love all y'all. I'm thankful to be a part of this platform. And yeah, if y'all get an opportunity, just check out what I'm doing, because I'm working hard, still putting Milwaukee on the map, actually. So yeah, that's Twan Mack.
Yo, Twan, be sure to post the links in the chat.
I will do that. I'll post it. I got to figure out how to do it though, to be able to go and grab a YouTube link or a Spotify link and be able to post it. I don't know how to do that without leaving, and I don't want to leave y'all. So.
Fidel, you're muted. Unmute yourself.
Maybe we can do that, Git, if you just grab some links if you want to drop them in the chat for everybody.
Okay, yeah, all right.
As we keep the conversation moving, we appreciate that, Twan. I just want to say, a lot of people need to understand that level of hip hop evolution as well. Amongst everything else they may see with what you're doing and your movements online, etc., you just drop something very important. And a lot of people can really relate to that situation. Taking care of your elders, taking care of your mother, taking care of your parents, taking care of different people in your family that need it the most right now. That's hip hop. That's as hip hop as you can get right there. So thank you for sharing that, bro. And I mean, much love and much strength to everyone's family, because that's really what it comes down to. And this is a serious dialogue in a True Knowledge ongoing series. So, some of the people that wanted to get here tonight couldn't make it. Some of the people that wanted to tap in couldn't make it. But just so everyone knows, it's an ongoing conversation, and we appreciate it for everybody who could take the time out to join us. I had DJ Stretch on the line. I wanted another DJ from the team to jump in. Stretch, you still there? DJ Stretch, he probably somewhere spinning some records or something. So Stretch been going hard and doing a lot of different things online as well. And to somebody else's point, we've been seeing a lot of different adjustments that artists been doing and DJs been doing, and it's just really amazing. And the inspiration behind everything is appreciated. So I'm gonna ask Stretch if he on here as well, because Stretch is one of the DJ instructors at True School, helps do a lot of events. So we've had to adjust, you know, and think about what that looks like for us here in Milwaukee. You've seen a lot of different things on the local news lately. For example, this election situation, it made national news. There was a lot of states that was postponing elections. Wisconsin said, no, we're not gonna postpone our election. We want y'all to go out and vote in the election. And as a lot of us who know very well, hip hop is definitely has had a stake in local elections and national elections for quite some time now. And so I'm not talking to people who don't understand what this means. I'm talking to people who definitely understand what this means, when people have a voice in what this means. People are active in local politics. Hip Hop Week is in Milwaukee. It was started in Milwaukee. It brought in legends from everywhere you could imagine. And they came to Milwaukee for a week and some change. And guess what? That resonated across the country. You look up, Brad Jordan and Willie D was running for a city council in Houston. True story. Same time, Ghetto Boys running for city council in Houston. That's just one example. After, you know, Scarface came to Milwaukee and that bug bit him. I'm not saying everybody jump into politics and all that. That's not what this conversation is about. This is hip hop. And so we want to keep it there. We want to ask everyone, you know, if you just joining us, mute your microphone. If you have something to say, please just, you know, give us a shout out in the chat room. And what's up to everyone who's already checked in the chat room. We're asking everybody, you know, drop your links, drop any information you want, drop any contacts, because, you know, it could be Facebook, it could be IG. We'll definitely, you know, make sure everybody's connected and networking, because that's what it's about, you know, networking during these times and trying to come up with solutions during these times.
Hey, Fidel, I just want to take a minute. B-girl in the house, Katrina Flores, and she has been on her IG. She is pregnant than a mug and still dancing and still giving to the people. And I just want to give her a chance to say what's up, let us know how she is doing. Katrina, how you doing, love?
Peace, everybody. How you doing? Blessings to you all.
Peace.
Happy Earth Day, y'all. Yes, I'm 6 months pregnant.
Congratulations.
Pregnant in a pandemic. But yeah, I'm a B-girl, originally from Wisconsin, but I live in Chicago right now. And so, yeah, it's just been navigating what it's like to be pregnant, going through this time where you feel like you're going to have like a lot of friends and family around you to be part of this process, and then find yourself, you know, very isolated. And that's a very interesting experience and space to be in. However, you know, we're blessed to be, I would say, in an age where digitally we can connect like this, like we're doing right now. And so I've definitely been able to utilize digital spaces as ways to bring community together. Tomorrow I'm going to be live on IG. Sister DJ out there, her name is Chaotic Blaze from Rocksteady. So we're gonna be live talking about what it's like. She'll be spinning some records. We'll be talking hip hop, and then also what it's like to be pregnant, and just engage other women in hip hop and outside of hip hop on like what they're going through, and provide a space just to have that kind of sisterhood conversation. And also for the, you know, men out there who are also pregnant, you know, with their partners, because that's real too. So my partner's right here, who's a DJ as well, originally from Wisconsin. But yeah, so we're that. And then right now there's a lot going on in the breaking scene. Obviously, you know, for like B-boys and B-girls, like our whole cypher world is about being next to each other and sharing physical energy. And so that's been a really wild experience, is like, how do we then translate that now when people need that as an outlet? And so there's online competitions that have been happening. We sponsored, some of them are charging. So there's this really big one that's being done by Break Free in Houston, but it's worldwide. And it's going on right now. It's live streaming. But they were charging $30 for people to enter, right? And we're like, what the hell? You know, people, even $30 is a lot for people to enter a competition when everybody's working and everything like that. And then on a global scale, you know, there's a lot of countries where $30 is like 10% of the annual income. of a person there when they're working. And that's, you know, honestly, in the breaking community, people are not usually making those average incomes. They're usually working minimum wage jobs, or, you know, not working some of these jobs that have a lot more income. So we raised some money and we're able to sponsor some people to be part of this in Panama, in Nicaragua, in the Philippines, in Hong Kong. And also they made it free for the continent of Africa. So that's what's up. But it's been really dope because it's been giving people an opportunity then to film themselves in the home and then be able to have these exchanges digitally, which is kind of cool. It's definitely not the same. So there's always going to be that conversation of how does this, you know, new way of interacting shift hip hop, right? And so that's a valid conversation, a conversation we're actively engaging in as well. But at the same time, it is bringing people together, and that's positive. I posted a recent thing a couple days ago. I think that's what you were referring to, Shalina, where I just did a round quickly and posted it online. 6 months pregnant, tops only. I was not doing any power moves or freezes because the baby was like, no, Ma, that's not cool. But yeah, it was cool. And I think it brought, you know, it got like, you know, like some 50 shares across the world. And in a couple of days, it got like over 2,000 views. And I've been just being hit up by a lot of people from Asia, from Latin America, who have also shared it amongst their people. And so just saying thank you for sharing that, because it brought some joy. And I think there's that, you know, it's like, how are we protecting our joy right now? Because it's a struggle, you know, and that's so important to not only ourselves, but our communities. How are we protecting not only our personal joy, but our collective joy? And I think that's a big part of hip hop, you know, peace, love, unity, and of course, having fun, right? And so how do we continue to have fun with each other, engage each other in a positive way that lifts each other up? And then one other thing that we've been doing is we've been doing some cooking shows, live streaming. My girl and I, we have a thing called Girl Illa Tactics. And so that's B-Girl Maka and I. And so we've been doing these just live cooking shows because we tend to eat very plant-based, my sis and I. And so her as a Black woman, me as a indigenous Native woman, coming together to show like how we are making certain meals in our house and like kind of demystifying things about plant-based diets and how accessible they can be, or ways that you can incorporate some healthy things into your life, so that we're talking about building up our immunities and things like that within our community. So that's been something we've also done in the hip-hop realm within.
We have a unborn on the line tonight, a virtual on the conference. I think we're covering a lot of bases as hip hop does naturally at all times. I want to thank you for real, because I know you're busy. I did not know you was carrying. Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Katrina, please post the links in the chat if you get a chance, so we can check out some of the great stuff you're talking about.
Even the live battle. Yep. Even the live battle. Post the link to the live battle that's happening.
Yeah.
That's going down. I saw a couple people post. That's exciting. We got a lot of elements represented tonight, and a lot of people checking in. Carlos, what up? I see you. Annie, I see you. Young Eli, young true schooler, I see you. I gotta shout out everybody that's in a place. You know, Devin, Jay Head, Kim Shine. It's a lot of people. Kennedy, I know Kennedy probably still tapped in, even though I don't see her on the camera. So we're gonna definitely keep asking people to drop your artist links, drop your info into the chat. We truly appreciate that. Anything that you may be touching on. So I'm gonna ask a question. I want to just see who want to chime in right fast, if we can talk about what it looks like for our youth. A lot of people already talked about it, already touched on it. Like I said, my question's out the window, because so many educators on the phone, on the line right now, right? So many parents, so many great thinkers on the phone. So it's just a natural process that going to happen, where people are going to be able to communicate. But I do want to defer the conversation to young Eli. So Eli, I want you to get your thoughts right in terms of being a young true school voice for real, and as a teenager, how you processing things, okay? And how you want to be communicating and communicated to during these times, what questions you may need answered, right? And you think about that. And then also we have a couple other students that were on. I don't know if I have more. I think Carlos, you want to say something? B-boy? Go ahead.
All right, well, how's it going, everybody? I'm Motion D, B-Boy, born and raised in Wisconsin, grew up in the South Side. You know, I moved back just recently, and I want to defer the conversation. It has a lot to do with hip-hop and the youth as well. As y'all may know, I own a real estate firm here. And as far as the city goes, man, there's a lot of new development that's happening and a lot of moving and shifting that's going to happen that's going to directly affect our youth. The reason I got into hip hop, the reason I got into b-boying is because that was my outlet that I had in, you know, growing up in the South Side of Milwaukee. So I think right now more than ever, it's just letting the youth know that hip hop is still alive, that hip hop is still here. And many avenues that, you know, they can choose from and where to go. As far as True School right now, social media, like everyone was saying, is probably the biggest way to communicate right now. And I think that in the near future, within the next couple of months, there's going to be a shift, not only in the way that the city is. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but when it's downtown, you know, all that by the third world, like all that's going to get pushed through the South Side. So the South Side is going to be potentially turned into downtown as well, which is going to be shifting a lot of the youth and a lot of families, you know, ways. So we got to be prepared for that. But, you know, letting hip hop inspire, you know, it doesn't matter where you're living or how you're living, is the love and the connection and COVID. I mean, honestly, nobody wanted this, and this is something bigger that, you know, that's happening. We need to protect ourselves. But it's amazing and crazy how it took social distancing for us to become closer. And that is the crazy thing about, because it took this for people to actually start paying attention, start, you know, working more on their craft, which I think everyone should. So thank you so much for the time, and I appreciate it for sure.
That's dope, man. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate you.
Peace, Carlos.
And that's another one too, like, you know, a whole real estate firm in hip hop moving around. And I know Stricklin, you've been stepping into that world as well. Would you like to add on to that before we move on? Because I mean, that's what hip hop is talking about. That's what we're talking about. Is there anything you want to say as far as how that industry has been affected? As Brother Gat said, you know, things weren't the same as they were after 9/11. Is this one of them things where things have changed and people will see that sort of economic impact?
Yeah, I haven't really seen a change in the market as far as COVID is concerned as of yet. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. As of yet, we definitely have had to adapt and overcome and kind of shift with the time. So a lot of virtual 360 things happening as far as open houses. We can't be physically in the house to greet a potential buyer anymore. We have to shoot what's called these virtual 360 videos, which have been around prior to COVID. Because let's say, for instance, I want to move to Baltimore, Maryland, and there's properties in Baltimore. So they do, some firms and some real estate agencies do offer virtual tours of homes, but now it's become a staple because we can't be around people, obviously during these times. But as far as the market is concerned, I haven't seen, there's still buyers out there who need places to live, and there's still people who needs to sell their house. I will say that as far as the buyers are concerned, we don't have as many, I like to call them tire kickers, just window shopping. We don't have as many people who are just out window shopping. When people come to look for a house now, you really know that they need a house because they're out in this environment right now. So if they're out now, then they must really need a house. So that's the only really thing that I've seen so far. And I became a real estate agent more to become an investor. So as far as hip hop is concerned, it has helped set me up financially wise to have the opportunity to become an investor. About a 4-family last October, and that's really why I got in the real estate game. But as I've started to buy and sell, help people buy and sell their house, I'm starting to love that aspect of it too. But just to keep it 100, I really just got into it for the investment part of it. So I've never met the young man who just spoke before. What was his name again? I would like to make sure.
Carlos dropped info Yeah,
Yeah,
Carlos dropped his info
Carlos,
in the chat. If you're able to check the chat, he dropped his info in the chat. Carlos is one of the B-boys in the family that's been down with TRUE School for a long time. And we'll definitely make sure that the connections are made as they need to happen, because that's what this
word
is.
up.
That's what it's all about, man. Appreciate
Yes, sir.
And that goes for you as well. I mean, maybe somebody on this line right now looking. So how does it happen? He said something about the 360 videos. Goody has introduced that technology to our students and saying, hey, this is something that's moving right now. This is how they're selling homes. This is how they're selling golf carts, golf courses. This is how it's happening. Whether it's drones, 360 footage. So as we was talking about that, I just want to ask Arabian Prince, you know, as you were talking about best practices and what's the right messaging that needs to happen. Where does hip hop fall into this? Because I mean, some people might look up and they say, shit, hip hop having a strip club party at home right now. They might look up and say, well, hey, hip hop just having a nostalgia party right now. They just throwing back the old school jams right now. Like, you know, what's the best practices as socially? You know, we talking to our young people, we talking to each other, but what's also the best practices as hip hop? I mean, you literally the OG on the line, and all respect to the architect. And if you don't know who that is on the line, that's Arabian Prince, multi-award winning founder of the world's most dangerous group, Niggas with Attitudes, NWA. So just help me out with that, brother. Like, what should we be doing right now? What's the protocol?
Man, like I said, here, man, the protocol is like, you know, I always go back to where I came from, Compton. I've been working with like the city council down there. And one thing that kills me about what I hear from the government and when I hear from everybody else is like, yeah, we're doing this, everything is amazing, everybody's getting taken care of. But the stuff that's happening, it doesn't trickle down to the inner cities. It never does. You know, like even the small businesses trying to look for these loans and stuff, they're not getting them because they've never been able to get loans from the bank in the first place. So now that the money's there, they can go get it. They go in the bank like, we don't know you. You know what I mean? They giving it to somebody who probably don't even need it. So we're trying to help change that narrative. And on the side of the kids, like I said, it's all about the message. Trying to like stamp down on all these crazy conspiracy theories all over the place. Now, some of them may be true, but
hold on 1 second. How are you helping people in terms of the financial piece? Give me the how. Like, so you saying something very real, because not only do it not trickle down, guess what? We the first to also get preyed on. People will come and try to scam on.
There you go.
Those who need it the most. So what are we doing? And what does hip hop need to be doing? How are we making this happen? Where you at?
So what we did, like all of the LA DJs, like the OGs as well as the new school DJs, we wanted to take care of that family first, because we understood that if I help this DJ or give them that information, they're going to go and run it to all of their people. And, you know, I can't do it all myself. Dre can't do it all himself. I see Diddy's trying to do his thing. No one can do it by themselves. So you got to kind of like get that army together to get it out there. And what we've done is we put the information out there in our emails to, I think we got like 50 or 60 DJs in LA who got big followings. So that 50 turns into 500, that 500 turns into 5,000, and everybody goes and gets it. So we put the links out. When somebody got some information, boom, they put it up. And I think like you guys already probably have a website already doing this, but set up something that in your neighborhood and in the inner cities that they can come and get that information directly from you. You know what I mean? Because the information is all over the place. Like, here's the link. This is what you click on to go get your money. And if you can't go get it and you don't know how, and you don't have help, or if this bank ain't helping you, or the person that's supposed to be giving you a grant or a loan can't help you, holler at us and we'll help you get through that, you know. And that's what we're trying to do, because there's people like these kids, they don't have internet. Some people don't, like, they're still getting evicted, even though here in California they said you can't evict anybody. I'm hearing every day they still get kicked out. They don't care, and they don't have a voice. What they gonna do? Nobody's doing anything to help right now. So we got to be those that help.
That's valid, brother. And that's really what, you know, what the demonstration aspect of what hip hop has been for everybody over years, you know, in terms of, you know, like the great Chuck D said, that's that CNN level before this social media level, where people are able to see what worked in one neighborhood, see what worked in one neighborhood, see what worked, and let me transfer that, let me take a little bit of that, let me sample that, let me remix that, and let me apply it right here in my community where it worked and where it's supposed to happen. So, you know, thank you, and keep us posted how we can connect, and also what we need to do in terms of funneling that information. Because as the world's getting smaller, it don't have to be based in Cali. It don't have to be based in Arizona, Florida, what have you. You know, so let's stay in touch on what those solutions look like. I was wondering along those lines, does anybody else have a hip-hop based solution, or that come from us, that come from our culture, something you involved with, that you would like to just say, okay, this is something that's going on, this is the demo, and somebody out here might be inspired to do something like this that I've seen happening during this unpredictable, uncertain time where everybody's kind of stressed out, to be honest, even if they don't admit it.
Yeah, I think that, you know, everybody, it's a new hustle right now. Everybody's trying to figure out the new hustle, you know, and like somebody said earlier, you got to flip the script. And one thing that's killing me is, you know, we're watching the Instagram parties and the DJs and the performers, but have you noticed, unless you got a big name, you're getting shut down. Like, they're shutting down the regular DJs 5, 10, 15 minutes in. You know, you start playing somebody's music you ain't supposed to be playing, boom, they shut you down, unless you be nice or somebody, you know, big, which is unfortunate. So I think that the message has got to get out there from all of us. Like, we've been complaining to Facebook and to YouTube and to Instagram, and we're starting to hear a little change. I think even Spotify now is about to loosen some regulations, and some of these other ones are loosening regulations during this time to let people express themselves. Because, you know, what we got to realize is entertainment is what keeps people sane. Without the entertainment aspect, you ain't gonna get nothing. And one thing, I was on another video conference earlier, and this is a time where all of, I call them the Godzillas, will wake up. Like, everybody in this chat right here is a Godzilla waiting to wake up. Before, we was all complacent a little bit. Everybody in here has been somewhat complacent, like, you got your little lane and you rolling. I'm good, I got this. Some might be a little hungrier than others, but now it's time for the Godzillas to wake up. Now it's time to figure out that lane that no one's figured out, and then go get a bunch of people and say, hey, this is where we're gonna go make some money. This is a new way to make money. This is a new way to change the music game, or change the entertainment game, or even change the learning game for kids right now, because that's something I'm very focused on, is figuring out learning. Like, okay, the kids ain't in school, now it's time for us to teach them. Like, now, because some might not go back because they get too comfortable. There's gonna be a whole lot of dropouts, because they're comfortable now. It's gonna be hard to get them back in school. They got excuses like, all right, I'm scared to go back. You know, that's gonna be the excuse. I'm scared to go back. So how do you teach them, and how do you teach everybody to protect the world from this happening again? That's the most important thing.
That's valid. And to that point, Words, I want you to drop in as far as being an artist who has traveled the globe, and I mean, you in the classroom and in the trenches. And what does that look like in your transition of working with young people in the classroom, and what's going on now? What does that look like, and how are young people responding?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was kind of rough to get them to start showing up again. And then, so we've been having kind of like a little layover, like 2 to 3 weeks for them to just like catch up on their work. But now you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. So it's been like a little layover. So we gave them like 2 to 3 weeks to catch up. But once you start putting some zeros and stuff like that in there, they start showing up, man. They started showing up. You know, I called everybody's house though, but a lot of other teachers was going straight to the zeros. And it was because every kid has a Chromebook. So every kid got a computer in the school. They make sure everybody has a computer. The school is open every day. So you can get a hotspot for your house. So the kids, they got accessibility. Wow. So there's really no excuse with that. So most kids, from my experience, they check their grades. Whether they fail it or not, that's the first thing they look at. And then once they see that zero or something in there, then they know that the teacher's watching them. So it's really, you got to hold them accountable. And once we're holding them accountable, they're showing up. So it's been pretty cool. It's been it's a different transition in regards to I teach TV, film, and music production. So it's kind of difficult because they don't have like the technology with them. So I'm doing more of like articles based on the transition of how music has changed with all of this technology, and then, you know, giving them questions in that way. So it's more so providing articles and information to help them get their mindset on the transition, because a lot of kids, they're home and they playing that Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? That's just the real. They play, if I was them, I'd be playing 2K or whatever too. I already know what it is.
Right.
So I understand it, but I got to make sure I'm giving them articles and things that take them out of this. They at least know what the new wave is for them going forward, as far as their mentality on how to transition in the world. So that's pretty much what goes on with me every day. So provide them work. Then I'm available like 9 to 12. Then I do a little Zoom for an hour. And then after that, just prepare for the following week. So it's still going on. I know some states don't have anything going on as far as education, but these kids, if you make them accountable, we had about 86% of the kids show up or something like that. Some crazy numbers. So it's really about us holding them accountable.
That's dope. So let me ask you this, brother. Just like you said, you give them some references. Everybody need them references. They need a frame of reference. They need some context of what's going on. So if we talking to the adults and even some of the elders, the parents, even some grandparents in hip hop, what's some of the ways that what's some of the references you might point them to as you have been researching and learning? Like
one of the main articles I did that when that whole D-Nice thing went down. I went on the ABC. They had an article on that, so I posted that inside the Google Classroom, and then the kids could research that. And then I also did it for TV and film, because there's no films or TV being filmed right now. So the kids don't really realize, even though they're watching all of this stuff on TV and things, these replays over and over, ain't no movie coming out. You know what I'm saying? Or I even, like, we discussed the fact that like a Bad Boys or Ozark, I believe, not Ozark, Onward, that other movie that came out for the kids, how it's directly from theaters into your home. Would you rather have it come to your home rather than going to the theaters? And got a chance to hear what their thoughts was on that. So it's really discussing a lot with daily news. It's kind of like doing more current events with the tech that they're using, and letting them understand that it's a valuable thing to actually understand how it's being used, as opposed to just sitting there. Because I don't think they understand that, like, another movie and another show is not being recorded right now. So that's what we're doing. That's what I do every week with them, just kind of different ways like that.
That's heavy. That's heavy. So Eli, you still there? Eli, unmute yourself if you're able to. Let me see. I can unmute you.
Hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. How you been? How you been? How you been?
Good. I feel good.
Good. How's the family?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Laying low?
Yes, sir. Just chilling. Everything. I've been mainly doing music a lot. So whether it's playing my guitar or doing the keyboard, just trying to do something positive, not worry about all the negative and everything.
That's what's up. Eli is a young man who I met first through his mother being a vendor at a community market that we helped create for some of the local creatives. And so Eli was just super helpful to all of the other vendors, to all the little children running around. Like he just embedded himself into this market space as a good spirit and a helpful young man. So I would just know he would help. I said, y'all need help moving this table. Yo, can you help her bring them chairs in? Whatever. So I'm moving fast and he right there with me. I didn't know. A couple years later, Eli enters TRUE School. 15? You 15?
Yes, sir.
Eli is old enough to enter TRUE School. I should say it that way, because he was looking forward to it. He was edging at the door for a while, coming to events and just familiar and whatnot with the family. And he makes it to TRUE School finally. And Eli, how many instruments you play?
Like,
look at him.
It's a couple. You play the drums? Yeah, I play the drums, the guitar, and the keyboard. And the keyboard. And then you got some other things. I'll play a little bit. Yeah.
No, is that Yatisha in the background? Is that your mom? Is Yatisha in the background?
Yeah, it's my mom.
All right. Hey, Yatisha.
Hey.
He said, no big deal. Just, 3 or 4. I don't know. Working on some new stuff. So I had no idea, man. I was just in awe. I was amazed, bro. I'm so proud of you and just being a mature force like you've been. So I'm glad to hear you've been holding it down. What do you want to say, man? You've been listening to the conversation. You've been really listening intently and closely, as I know you do, soaking it up. What do you want to say to everybody listening? No pressure, no pressure.
Honestly, I just want to say, to everybody know, just stay positive and everything. You know, even though we like in like a crazy thing, everything, just make the best out of it. Have fun or something. You know what I'm saying? I do that every day. Every single time I wake up, I'm in doing something. I'm doing music, arts and crafts, or doing something. Maybe getting my mom nervous or doing something. But you know, just cooking. That's true. She's been making me cook a lot. But yeah, you know, just doing something fun, you know, interacting with the family more, you know what I'm saying? I really haven't been like doing with much technology a lot as I've been like as like recreational time, unless like for music or something. But yeah, and one thing as me being homeschooled is either my grandma or my mom hopping on me about doing school. So if my grandma hop on me, she gonna hop on my mom, then I'm doing school. And then I'll be doing school for like an hour or something like that. And I'm like, grandma, you really have to bust my bubble like that? Like I'm trying to chill on my ball. But yeah, just try to have everybody stay positive and everything.
Yeah, bro. I'm glad y'all good. I'm glad you staying busy, staying productive and creative. That's what it's about, yo, and staying out the way. That's what it's about right now. That's important. Anybody got any questions for the young man on the line? I mean, he a true schooler, so he used to being put on the spot. Y'all don't trip. We can put him on the spot forever. He won't fold. He good. So if anybody got any questions or comments, you know, that they want to communicate to the young brother on the line from True School, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. True Knowledge session will be replayed this weekend, Sunday. We usually have the audio and the visual available for people who didn't make it, or for people that you want to share the conversation with. You say, hey, y'all want to know what hip hop doing? Hey, y'all want to know what hip hop talking about? We had a great conversation with some very cross the map people that have a lot to say and a lot of input. Anybody else want to chime in? I'm looking at the chats, man. I need everybody to drop your contacts in the chat. I see some phone numbers. I see some Facebooks. Drop your chats, drop your emails, drop your YouTubes, drop whatever you need us to connect with, because that's what we're here for. We appreciate that. Jay Harris, you want something to say something? I see you turned on your camera and took off your mask. That was a sign. You want something in the conversation. Oh, and there's a hand. All right. Here she comes. Hold on. Nope, not yet. There you go.
There we go. I'm unmuted. Thank you. Peace, everybody. I'm doing exactly what you said do. We're taking care of family. I got groceries in the back. I'm in the car. So I'll be in the house. But
that was like that's some high tech. All you DJs, all you DJs, y'all get that? Y'all get that?
Coming on to represent my office, but really here to represent myself. I appreciate it.
I'm trying to mute it. It won't even let me. I don't even know why.
Talk and listen to what's going on and how everybody's taking in and doing it.
Pardon me.
I'm hearing Teddy Riley issues. Hold on.
Oh yeah. Okay, she caught it. Yeah. I was trying to mute it. It wouldn't even let me. I don't know.
Well, peace anyway.
Yes, she's on the move and she's doing it right. She's staying safe. I don't know why it's not letting me, but
can I just say hello and thank you?
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you for checking in.
Yes, thank you for letting me partner with True School. I'm excited for our journey that will be coming through the years. So thanks for letting me be a part of helping True School fundraise. And
thank you. Don't say nothing else. Let me just thank you for a minute. All right. Thank you. Brianna just, hit us up out of nowhere and just, said she want to support True School's mission and for what we're doing during this time. What do the students need at home? Do they need a keyboard, paintbrushes? What do they need? They need things. And a lot of times it's that hotspot that Brother Words was talking about. A lot of times it's food, so a lot of hip hop has been creatively figuring out how to solve these problems. So Brianna reached out to us on some creative artist stuff and said, I want to help y'all solve a problem because I know the students have this need. I don't necessarily have this money to donate to y'all as an organization, a nonprofit, tax deductible, if any of y'all interested. She said, how can I help you all? I want to do this thing where we're going to host a live stream again, using that technology, one of the biggest radio DJs in the city, Reggie Smooth as Butter Brown. Everybody who's from Milwaukee knows exactly what I'm talking about for the last 20 years. She called Reggie Brown to do a benefit online last night for True School in honor of Prince, her uncle, the artist formerly known as the Purple Majesty, the legend, the god, the icon. Her family blessed True School to say, okay, we you know, I mean, that's huge for us. And we didn't seek that out. That saw us out. So thank you, Prince. Thank you, Brianna, and the family, everybody who put that together. Reggie Brown, that was last night. And it was VIP. So I know they're doing some other things rolling out for the family. And so you communicate with us, we'll share with our people as well. We'll continue that. We appreciate that as well. Thank you. And I wanted to tap in. We have a few new people in. We just want to shout out Paula. I want to shout out Jay Harris. Are you still there? Because you went out and your audio went out. And so if you are in a better situation, I do want to let you say what you was going to say.
My internet is going in and just wanted to again appreciate the space. I work for the Office on African American Affairs, and so I'm kind of the bridge between community and the county government entity.
Okay.
And
so now we know what. Now we know where your phone back.
Actually have people's voice at the table, in which there are a lot of initiatives.
I just muted you. I think the sound still is not good. It's okay. We know your phone is bad because you work for the government.
Okay.
You work for the government. It's okay. Use your phone.
This is my personal phone.
I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. You think it's your personal phone. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah. It's just not good. It's not good. It's not good. Our DJs is giving me the sign like cut it.
Yeah, you got to go somewhere where you get a little better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the DJs is telling me it ain't gonna work. We appreciate you checking in though. Office of African American Affairs is one of a kind, it's very, very rare in the country. This new office that was created, the Office of African American Affairs here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So thank you, Jay Harris, for checking in. Let's follow up because I'm knowing that y'all got some good information and hopefully some resources for the people on the ground, for the youth, for the artist community, and for businesses, you know, i.e. families in general. I appreciate that. Appreciate you checking in.
Also, we want to do more rounds of these conversations. So if there are people joining in, like, don't worry.
Hold on. That's somebody else's audio. That's not your audio. Everybody mute, please. I did, because I didn't know if that was you. All right, now it sounds good. Go ahead.
I know, I was saying it's not me. No, I just want to make sure, because I know that this is a loaded conversation all around, and we have so many people that have so many great things to contribute. So we want to keep having a conversation with this format, and we'll rotate kind of like who the special guests are so that you can bring to the conversation intentionally and add and kind of have your platform. So as inclusive as it is supposed to be, I do want to make sure that our guests that were asked to be on here really get a chance to say what they have prepared to say, because as Fidel said, this is being recorded and we are going to release it. So we know that a lot more people are going to have access to this conversation, and we're going to keep it going.
So that would include Brother Gat.
Yes, that's exactly where I was looking at too.
Go ahead, unmute yourself.
Peace.
So Gat, a lot of people don't know also, we talk about those extra lines. Gat, talk about what you do outside of this and how that work is related to not only hip hop, but our family, but our community.
Okay, well, I'm a director of an agency too that's called the Asha Project, which is primarily a domestic violence agency where we deal in human trafficking, substance abuse, sexual assault. And I guess what really makes us unique is that it's a culturally specific agency, meaning that our curriculums and our service delivery is geared primarily for African Americans. So, you know, and with being in the middle of a pandemic, you know, that kind of puts us in a peculiar space, you know, because, you know, domestic violence is rising in the midst of the pandemic. But so we had to find, you know, creative ways to still service our clients, you know, and, you know, but we make it happen. You know, we just got to navigate through technology. Can't necessarily have an office open where we have the traffic that we normally have, but we still find ways to make it happen, man. I got some dynamic advocates, some powerful people that work with me and for me, and you know, we making the best out of a bad situation. You know, just like True School, we still find a way to be creative and make it happen. You know, yeah. So you know, I just want to echo what Brother Eli said, man. You know, it's in this type of climate, it's easy to fall into the spirit of fear. You know what I'm saying? And that type of thing can affect your immune system. So it's very important for us to keep it positive. You know what I'm saying? We got to stay prayed up, you know, whoever your higher power is, or, you know, if you meditate, whatever, we got to keep our vibrations higher, you know, because it's easy to get shook in this type of situation. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of information out there, man. Some of it substantiated, some of it unsubstantiated. But if you just fall into the negative and you stay right there, that can affect you on a whole nother level, man. So it's good to have knowledge and it's good to do your research, but you don't want to fall into the spirit of fear. So we try to keep it positive in this hour.
That's real, and not you know, get lost in the media madness. That's just what it's about. I want to ask if you had any I want to say advice. I won't say suggestions. I don't want to even use those kind of words, but I already used them. I want to say, you know, what would you say somebody who is in a hostile environment right now, or how would you communicate as hip hop? Again, what kind of solutions is hip hop offering for someone in this situation, or someone trying to get out of the situation, or talk to us on that level?
Well, you know, it kind of varies. You know, like if somebody is in a toxic situation as far as domestic violence is concerned, or, you know, human trafficking or something like that, man, those are fragile situations, and each situation is different.
That's right.
You know, sometimes you could be in that type of situation, and it could be a simple solution as just as simple as getting in contact with an agency like us, you know, or telling somebody, you know, they communicated with you or Sister Shalina, y'all communicated to me. I got the resources. I can get them some emergency assistance. We get them moved, they good. But another person, you know, it might not be that simple. Another person, man, they might have to pick up and move out of the state with 6 children. So they may have to be strategic, you know, they may have to be wise how they move around that situation, man. So you know, domestic violence, man, that thing is not black and white. It's not cut and dry. That's you know, it's the type of thing where we have to sit down with people and assess where they're at, you know. But you know, just as far as keeping your vibration high though, man, you know, whatever you do, you know, whatever levels you at.
Shout out the website right quick. So Gid can drop that in the chat for the agency, just in case people want to get in, a helpline, a hotline, any of that.
Yeah. The website is ashafamilyservices.org. ASHAFAMILYSERVICES.org. You know, and I put that in the chat as well.
Okay.
So for anybody, man, we still out here moving and shaking. We still out here making it happen. We just have to do it in a creative way.
That's it. We all pivoting. We all shifting. And thank you for sharing that insight, brother. Because I mean, that's just a part of it. That's just a small fraction of what you're doing and how we could continue to offer these resources and this help.
No doubt.
That's what it is. So, just Lauren, LoLo, as a straight DJ, just talk about that adjustment and that. I mean, what's your take on it? I mean, you heard a lot of that conversation tonight. Ain't none of us like DJing. You a whole DJ, so let's talk about DJ.
It's been interesting. Since DJing isn't my main gig, I've been privileged to like keep working, and my main gig is education, so that's been like super busy. So it's been an interesting balance because we're working on getting the babies like back into learning and getting some instruction and stuff going on, especially in the district where a lot of people don't have access to tech and Chromebooks and things like that, and teachers fighting with and principals fighting with teachers, and the union fighting with with everybody fighting, and then the kids just not getting what they need. So it really concerns me that the arts, which is such an outlet and literally change people's lives, like music changes people's lives, like lifts people out of situations. And so I think about it a lot from like a therapeutic standpoint. And being a DJ, you really get to know people. You get to know your crowd and your following and what they need in different moments, and like just try to give people that. And so it's been interesting. I've actually gotten into more, not gotten into more, but had flashbacks up to my upbringing with a lot of different gospel stuff, and people wanted to do little gospel sets before they go get their word from like wherever church is streaming and stuff like that. And that's been really fun and interesting to kind of mix hip hop with gospel and like overlay a lot of those tracks and create new things, because it really does motivate people. Like they hear something, they remember something, and it kind of like you had a crazy week, but you get to come at the end and like, just remember who you are and who you're going to be when you get done with all of this. So that's been really, I've had so much fun. And then people being able to check in, leave messages, talk to each other. It's like a really cool interactive experience. And when you get cut off, you just kind of blame it on the man, and everybody jumps back on again. It's just like, so yeah, it's been adjustment. People been starting to hit me up for like virtual graduations and other ways to like birthday party. People are trying to think creatively about how they make virtual spaces fun. And so like they like, how did I make regular spaces fun? Oh, I had a DJ. Like let's see how we can figure that out. So that's actually pushed me to stay in it. Like people always push me to stay. That's how I became a DJ. That's how I live now. Can you do, let's do it, let's get people together. So I'm researching stuff, trying to learn how to get good sounds and streams, iRig and different stuff like that to try to make sure I'm bringing like a good experience to people. And I like it because I'm all at home, so I can take care of the kiddo and, make sure everything is straight at the house too. So, yeah.
That's dope. Thank you so much. And you did drop your info in the chat so people can check it out. And when the next stream? When you going live next?
Who knows? Maybe this weekend, maybe Sunday. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. I gotta figure all that out. But I just be popping up.
All right. Well then, keep us informed so we can show love and share it with the people for sure. And that goes for everybody. Keep True School informed so we can help, channel that information out. Whether it's, information, whether it's education, however it goes, we definitely want to support everybody who helped us kick this conversation off. Anybody want to say any moment, not like last moment words, but anybody say any words as we close it out? Twan Mack, I'm gonna go to you first. Anybody else can just raise their hand as a thing going out.
My live.
Go ahead, man.
I was just gonna say, first of all, I was gonna thank True School for putting this together because this is brilliant. I've been on a few of these, but every time I go on, especially having a plethora of like information that we got here, all the intelligent, beautiful people we got here, it's really kind of like some good therapy to be around, because I haven't been around anybody in a long time, man. I've been isolated, so it's like that's awesome. And I had a question. More than anything, I wanted to know, what are people doing in this time in terms of, you got parents in here, grandparents, things like that. What are people doing to take care of themselves from a mental and a physical standpoint? From my standpoint, I make sure I go take a walk. Like my gym is shut down, so I make sure I hit the lake up, and the lake is like a ghost town Monday through Friday. There's hardly anybody down there, and so I'm like seeking like a lot of good refuge down there by the lake, getting walks and stuff in. And it's been a good time for like self-actualization in terms of spending a lot of time alone. Even if you got kids, you're isolated a little bit more, not as around as many people. So it's giving me a chance to do like self-actualization and to look at myself. So I want to throw it at the panel and ask everybody, like, what are you doing from a physical, a mental, a spiritual standpoint to not necessarily maintain, because maintain means you running in place. What are you doing to forward with your cause and the other people's cause? What I'd like to know.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate that question. Elijah, I see you got your hand up.
You hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay, so mom said her way to like stay sane and everything is painting. Like we all know mom paintings, right? Like I'm pretty sure we all know mom paintings. You know, if you know my mom. Another for me is music, because I'm grounded in music. Like I can't stop dancing, singing, playing instruments. I can't even stop doing the beat. Like I'm always doing something that has to do something with music. Like it's just in me. Like, but yeah, that's what we do to keep to stay sane. You know what I'm saying? You know, mentally, physically, even though we're like going through this. That's like a positive. Yeah, she makes me go outside for a walk a lot too.
Good.
Even though I don't want to, she makes me do.
Get that fresh air, man. Get that sunlight.
Yeah, she said fresh air is healthy. She also I don't know if y'all saw in the chat. She told everybody. She said hey to everybody. She said she hope everybody is doing well.
Okay. And if your mom's got her products in your inventory online at this time, we'll drop that in the chat too. Put that in the chat, and you know, everybody can support that right away. His mom's make some awesome products, body products, skin, hair, everything, soaps. She makes a lot of great things, and he helps.
Yo, Twan, to answer your question too, man. For me, I've been doing everything I ever wanted to do. I've been taking this opportunity to explore everything. I bought some DJ equipment. I've been sewing. Man, what else we've been doing around here? We've been making T-shirts. We've been screen printing. We've been vinyl printing. We've been embroidering. Just staying busy, man. Everything I wanted to do or think about doing, I'm challenging myself to do it and not procrastinate anymore. And I don't know if that was COVID-19 or just the time on my hands now and trying to make the most of it. The other thing I did was took off work. So I've been working in the midst of this for like 6 weeks, constantly, and as a journalist. And so I started to feel my mental health started to, like, you know, I'm questioning things and thinking about my health versus working for somebody else. And I just took off. I took off for like 4 days, you know what I mean, just to give myself a break away from it all. I've been taking all precautions. I'm encouraging everybody out there to also take all precautions, not live in fear, but just take precautions, because like it was said earlier in this conversation, even the government don't really know what they're dealing with right now. And so, you know, I ain't even looking for their advice much more. It's more about taking care of your own mental health, spiritual health, connecting with friends. Me and my family do a lot of Zooms. True School, we Zoom like once a week, trying to stay connected. So these moments are also helping me as well, Twan.
Well, appreciate that, man. Anybody else want to touch on that? What are you doing during these times just to maintain, just to maintain, just to keep that balance as you progress through this, as we all do this together? That's an awesome question to put out there.
Man, I've been being real creative, man. I'm like Git, you know. I mean, I've been using this time like a cocoon, man. I'm trying to come out like a Godzilla, like Arabian Prince said. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this time has been good for me, man, because I actually felt like Gideon felt. Like I was just tired. Like I needed a vacation, you know. And lo and behold, you know what I'm saying, everybody was forced to take one. So, you know, I just went in the cave, man, and that's, you know, that's how God works sometimes. You know, Prophet Muhammad had to go to the cave. He came out with revelation. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm looking at this time. It's like a cocoon for me. So, you know, this time, just spending time with my family, my children, making sure my loved ones are, you know, in a good place, got the things that they need, you know, and I'm just feeding my mind, man, and my spirit and my body as well. You know, I done lost weight. I feel stronger. You know, I'm going to try to convince Viva Fidel to get back in the lab with me. You know what I'm saying? And we come back out like some Godzillas. Yeah, straight up. But that's how I'm feeling right now, man. And that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, and again, I just wanted to plug on that note, like every Friday, 1 p.m., if y'all available, we put the information out on all the True School social networks, True School 414 and all the social medias and all of that, where Shalina hosts the Art of Coping sessions on Fridays, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you need a moment You know, if you need that connection, if you need that re-engagement, you want to touch back with family, we're there. And then we continue to try to figure out new ways to be there for our youth and their family, of course. And that's just super important. Anybody else want to share what you're doing? And this is super important because we all taking this in and we all sharing this together.
I'll jump in. So I haven't experienced that vacation aspect of this yet, and that's just keeping it real because the level of responsibility around the business, the artists, the youth, the family, and everything else has been real crazy. I'm excited to be able to be part of the team that kind of holds things down while some people really are forced to sit down. And I plan on taking my vacation when shit goes back to normal. You know, I'm gonna sit down when everybody else can get up. And part of that is the reality of, like, with the art of coping and everything else, I'm like, you know what, if I gotta grind, I'm gonna grind harder. I started taking some online courses, doing some higher education just on my own time, reading a lot, creating at home, making sure that I'm actually trying to find ways to interact and educate my daughter offline because she gets that all the time. So I've been making her compost with me. I built a compost bin in my backyard, which, like, I went and found crates by a dumpster, and then we were out there drilling together, which, you know, I understand the concept of composting, but I had to research it and, you know, also talk to friends who had knowledge about it, to a point where, like, I got little ones in my family, like, begging their parents to come over to come be outside in my yard with me, you know. The other big part is really thinking about my health. I fasted for 3 days. It was the first time I ever made 72 hours on a water fast. That was amazing. And so really I'm just pushing myself to limits in ways that staying at home is allowing me to. And then also using community and inspiration to get through this time right now. And, you know, so I guess it's just that thing where it's like the opposite, where I'm running towards the madness rather than running away from it. And it's, you know, of course there's a lot of heavy stuff. So I'm not going to be one of those people that pretends that it's not other things going on. Like, I don't have to also manage my thoughts and my heart and other things that are real in my life. But I'm just so grateful to have tools to be able to manage those things. And I too know that I'm gonna come out better after this regardless. So I just want to throw that in because I don't think that anybody has to pretend to be better than they are, you know, during this time.
No, and Shalina's sharing those tools on Fridays. That's exactly what we're talking about. She's sharing some of those tools. So that's part of our conversation and our campaign with not just our youth that we serve, but our greater community that, again, as Shalina was talking about, the artists, the teaching artists that are young adults. Some are youth, some are OGs, like some of us on this phone. And for what we do, it's really about taking care of each other on a lot of different aspects. And it's incredible to be able to have this platform and have this conversation that, again, we will be able to reshare, but we also want to make sure that we got some really important topics, like kind of on the table that we can build on progressively. So as we revisit this and reach out back to some of you all, please, you know, be proactive on it. Reach out to us and say, hey, let's do this next time. Let's touch on this next time. Because we look at you all like as people that definitely have the influence and have the minds to guide us. Hip hop is in need of a GPS right now. Our youth, our community. I'm talking about that global positioning. Like, where are we at? What are we doing? And what's next? Who's saying that? Somebody, if you heard it, let us know. Let True School know. What should we be tapped into? Because who's talking to us right now that in that way, especially collectively, not just one voice. We see initiatives, but, you know, collectively, where we at? And I think, of course, again, it's all about ourselves and our different pods of different people and clicking up. And as somebody said earlier, making those things click up with each other and just growing our network, because we need to survive in this. And it's going, you know, this just the beginning. This is the new normal, but this is just the beginning of our new normal. So we appreciate all of y'all having the time. I wanted to read something before we got off the line. And y'all probably seen this or heard it coming, going off the internets and all that good stuff. But somebody said it and posted it to a family, one of the groups, and it said, we will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal, other than we normalized greed, inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack. We should not return to that, my friends. we are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature. And I don't know who wrote it because it don't say on it on what was sent to me. But I think that echoes everything people was talking about tonight. Everything people was talking about tonight. So we are part of that charge. Whatever we can do to help support each other, let's create this new normal together. All right, y'all? Peace.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace, family.
Thank you.
Y'all can stay and rock with us if y'all want to.
Hey, anybody can stay on. That's on you. That gets in.
D-Nice and Mick Buddha down with us.